to the channel. I'm back to break down this 12-game MLB DFS slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. Excited to get into it. A nice solid slate today. Before we do, a quick reminder, if you do enjoy the content on any point in this video, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video for my home run call of the day, and don't forget to check out my NFL content as well. That's being released on the channel if you're interested in NFL DFS. Quick reminder as well, I will be producing NFL content, and I do offer a premium package for MLB and NFL. That'll be linked below in the description of the appropriate videos. So this one, if you want to get my MLB DFS premium package, would highly recommend both of them if you're really looking to become a profitable DFS player in either sport. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down the slate today. Get you guys in the green, get you in the cash line, and I like to do that by sorting my sheet by K rate. It's fantasy sports. We get points for strikeouts. And the top guy on the slate today is going to be Garrett Cole taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. He comes in with a 35.4% K overall with a 15.1 swinging strike rate, a 31.3% K rate to righties, and a 40.2% K rate to lefties. So very, very solid across the board. And really the only thing that's not so hot for him is this matchup taking on this Toronto Blue Jays team in Yankee Stadium. It's not the best pitching environment either. Tough to pitch there. I mean, he's very accustomed to it at this point, but 11-3 on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, he's 11-8. And it's going to be really power on power because this Toronto Blue Jays lineup is very good. We see the last two times out for Garrett Cole, very good performances, 9 Ks and then 15 Ks against the Angels last time out. Much different matchup this time around, though. I mean, the Angels have been one of my favorite opponents to target in the latter half of this year. I've just been saying they've been striking out a ton. And while I do think Garrett Cole is a great option today, you do have to kind of question whether he's worth paying up for in this tougher matchup. So that's going to be up to you guys. But as far as the numbers and the upside, he's definitely one of the top of the slate. And the second guy on the slate gets to take on that exact Angels team. So that's where things get a little interesting for me. Blake Snell taking on the Los Angeles Angels. He comes in with a 30.3% K overall, a 28.1% K rate to righties, and a 38.1% K rate to lefties. And he gets to take on this Angels team that I was just discussing that I have been targeting. I'm going to continue to target for the rest of the season. They're striking out a bunch. He's in San Diego. It's a great pitching environment. He is 10-1 on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, they have him priced at 9-2. And as far as his recent performances, he's really been dominating. 9 Ks, 10 Ks, 10 Ks, 122 pitches and 107 pitches to his last two times out. You'd love to see that. Over 70 innings pitched. So he's absolutely on a roll. He's shut down the Dodgers. He shut down the Phillies. He shut down the Diamondbacks a bunch because he's been taking them on a lot, to be honest. So, I mean, that's a friendly matchup. But the guy's throwing the ball really well right now. He was struggling somewhat early on the season. The confidence is really high, and I have a feeling it's just going to keep going up after this matchup against this Los Angeles Angels team. So I definitely love Blake Snell tonight. Aaron Nola taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Their team that's been striking out a bunch all season long. They added in a few low strikeout guys that really dipped their strikeout rate as of late with guys like, Eduardo Escobar. They got Jace Peterson at the top. But I do still think Colton Wong's going to be, not Colton Wong. Aaron Nola is going to be a great option here with his 29.4% K overall. Great hard contact rate given up. Only a 28.8% K, a 28.8% K rate to righties. Very good. And then a 30% K rate to lefties. So another guy that I think you really have to be looking to. He's a 109 favorite, it's pretty much a draw right now as far as Vegas is concerned, but look for an eye on those lines. 9K on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, he's 10-6. And it's really just a matter of if you're really willing to pay for him when you have guys in a little bit better matchup like Blake Snell that we discussed. Put on a two-pitcher site if you want to pay up. No issues whatsoever. Eduardo Rodriguez taking on the Tampa Bay Rays is probably going to be a no for me. I'm just not really looking to target the Rays, but once again, a guy with a bunch of upside with a 27.5% K overall, a 26.5% K rate to righties, and a 32.1% K rate to lefties. There was a time during this year where if there was a left-handed pitcher on the mound and he was taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, I said lock him in, but that has since changed with some of the big pickups that they've made. They're a much bigger threat to left-handed pitching now, and it's a little bit of a scary matchup if you ask me. We do have Max Fried in a pretty good matchup taking on the Washington Nationals, so he's a guy that is a pretty hefty favorite if we jump down the list here with a 24.3% K overall, 23.4% K rate to righties, and a 27.3% K rate to lefties. The Nationals, another one of those teams that has become watered down pretty significantly here, and if you look at Max Fried's numbers, he's been right up around 100 pitches a game. Last time out against his Dodgers team, 9 strikeouts, 5 strikeouts the time before, 4 strikeouts the time before. Has been right around 3 or less earned runs. In the last couple times against Washington, he was able to get 7 Ks, 5 Ks over 6 innings pitched. So I expect him to go out and have a pretty good game again in this one. And we have Zach Gallen taking on the Texas Rangers, which is another team we've been really enjoying targeting. And we also have Logan Webb taking on the Colorado Rockies. The problem is it's in-course field. So he's a little bit of a scary target, but he'll be the next one I'm going to talk about after here. But Zach Gallen with a 26.7% K overall, 30.1% K rate to righties, and a 23.7% K rate to lefties, has given up quite a bit of hard contact to right-handed bats. But he's taken on a Texas Rangers team tonight that's just not good. So I've enjoyed targeting them with pitching all season long. I'm going to continue to target them with pitching. And they only have a 3.77 implied run total. Gallen is 7.9 on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, they have it priced at 7.9 as well. So I think you get him at a pretty friendly discount here compared to the matchup, etc. And he's been right up to 95, 100 pitches consistently for over his last 5 starts. 4, 6, 9, 5 Ks. 4.00, 3 earned runs, and has pitched 5, 7, 5, and 6 innings pitched. So he's been pitching pretty significantly well, and he gets a pretty great matchup here, taking on this Texas Rangers squad. So those would be the guys I'm really focused in on my pitching core today. And the last guy that I would really have to mention here would indeed be, if we scroll down here, Wade Miley taking on the Chicago Cubs, because the Cubs have just been terrible. Problem is it's in Wrigley Field. It's the wind is blowing out to right field at 14 miles an hour. This is the ballpark that is most impacted by wind, whether it be blowing in or blowing out. And that would be my really only concern here. Miley really doesn't strike anyone out, but the Chicago Cubs lineup has been striking out a bunch. They're very watered down. He does a great job eliminating hard contact overall. So, you know, you're really relying on the matchup for him to get through that K boost, because quite frankly, he really doesn't strike anyone out, but this could be a matchup where he could. So he's a name that I wanted to mention and throw out there. He's 8.8 on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, he is 8.2. So you could be looking to Wade Miley today. And with that being said, let's go ahead and transition over to bats. As always, I like to go ahead and sort my sheet by Sierra, skill, and active ERA. It's a good way of determining how good a pitcher's been so far in the season and how good he's expected to be in the future. And we have a bunch of guys with some pretty small sample sizes here at the worst. Jackson Kowar, with only an 11 innings pitch sample size, has been really bad with a 39.5% hard contact rate, a 500 slugging to righties, a 471 slugging to lefties, and he has to take on a Baltimore Orioles team tonight in Camden Yards, one of the best hitting environments in baseball. I love targeting the stadium for home runs, pulling up the diagrams that I always show you guys. Great hitting environment overall, green across the board. It's going to be great hitting weather here, 80 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left center. And I love this game overall. I'm excited for the total drop because I think it's going to be a pretty high one. And I definitely like the Baltimore Orioles. Cedric Mullins, Anthony Santander, Trey Mancini, J.J. Stewart, Austin Hayes, Severino, Jorge Mateo, J.M. Jones, Kelvin Gutierrez can play all of these guys 1 through 9. My favorites would be the 1 through 6 range. 7 through 9 gets a little bit watered down, but if you need to go to them for salary relief, I don't have an issue with it. And I definitely like the stack. Packy Naughton taking on the San Diego Padres. He actually hasn't been too terrible, to be honest with you, as far as the slugging, hard contact, ground ball, fly ball stuff. It's really just been a big walk issue, and I think that's affecting his Sierra. But he does have to take on a Padres team tonight that is very effective against left-handed pitching. Keep your eye on the total, because we do have guys that are very good against left-handed pitching, with guys like Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Tommy Pham, Will Myers, Austin Nola, and Jerickson Profar. And then you got Hai-Sung Kim for salary relief at the bottom. So keep an eye on the Vegas totals there. Alex Wells taking on the Kansas City Royals. He is terrible. Ground ball, fly ball stuff is terrible. Hard contact is worse on the slate with a 45.6% hard contact rate. He gives up a 643 slugging to righties and a 269 slugging to lefties. So a left-handed hurler that just really struggles against righties. And when I say really struggles, really struggles. He only strikes them out at a 9.4% clip as well, over an 18 innings pitch sample size. And I would definitely have interest in the Royals. Salvador Perez has been absolutely in fuego. Salvador Perez rakes off lefties, and Salvador Perez is going to be a top play on this slate tonight. Love him. Whit Merrifield, Edward Alves, Carlos Santana, Alberto Mondesi, Michael Taylor, Hunter Dozier, all those guys pretty effective against lefties. And then let's be frank, the Baltimore Orioles bullpen is terrible. Also, the Kansas City Royals bullpen is terrible. So this game is all around goodness as far as just facing terrible pitching throughout the entire game. So I like targeting that game. Jimmy Lambert taking on the Oakland Athletics. We're only dealing with an 8 innings pitch sample size. He has given up an 842 slugging to righties, a 500 slugging to lefties. Once again, something where when I wait for this Vegas line to come out, I will feel even better in targeting him. But I think we can definitely target this Oakland A's team tonight. The only problem is they're in Oakland. It's really not a friendly hitting environment. Pulling up the diagram as far as the Oakland A Coliseum, it's really tough to be hitting balls out of this ballpark. And the hitting weather really just isn't the greatest. You can see right across the board, both right and left-handed hitters. So it's tough to be going here. But, if this is the case with Jimmy Lambert and he's really going to be struggling and they have a pretty high implied run total, you still have to at least take a look at it. Josh Harrison, Starling Marte, Matt Olson, Jed Lowry, Matt Chapman, Mark Canha, Tony Kemp, Sean Murphy. I would have interest in all those guys. Elvis Andrus at the bottom of the order would be by far my least interested option. I'm really not interested in Elvis Andrus. He's been terrible. So that's who I'd be looking to on the Oakland Athletics side. Chichi Gonzalez taking on the San Francisco Giants. This could be a very long game for him because the Giants lineup is absolutely loaded. The Giants play in a ballpark that is not hitter-friendly. They get to go out to Colorado, where it's the best hitting environment in baseball. Their lineup has been very good. Chichi Gonzalez doesn't strike out anyone, and the Colorado Rockies bullpen is terrible. So, Giants would be the top stack on the slate by far. I'm sure they're going to garner a lot of ownership, but for a good reason. A 38.9% hard contact rate overall, a 612 slugging given up to righties, a 432 slugging given up to lefties. And, yeah. It's just really easy to target Chichi Gonzalez. He's just not a good pitcher. Tommy La Stella, Brandon Belt, Buster Posey, Lamonte Wade, Chris Bryant, Brandon Crawford, Mike Yastrzemski, Steven Dugar. Every single bat in this lineup is in play. Every single bat in this lineup could arguably be in the top half of every lineup in Major League Baseball for the most part. I mean, I'm a little bit exaggerating with that. Of course, there are some very good lineups across the league. But, I mean, this lineup's stacked 1 through 8. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the hitting weather is going to be great here. As I mentioned, the Colorado Rockies bullpen is terrible. And, yeah, it's going to be really tough to not be playing the Giants tonight. A 6.84 implied run total goes without saying that they are the top stack on the slate. So I really like them. The Dodgers taking on Jay Happ and the St. Louis Cardinals. He's been a guy that's very easy to break down. Hard contact against righties isn't good. Hard contact against lefties really isn't the greatest either. But against righties, he's really bad, and that's where we really like to target the power. He gives up a bunch of fly balls, a bunch of hard contact. And the Dodgers are going to be on the road in St. Louis tonight, which isn't the best hitting environment. However, I will say it's great hitting weather here tonight with an 85-degree temperature and 8-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. And I'm going to have interest in all the right-handed power. Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Justin Turner, Albert Pujols, Chris Taylor, Will Smith. Every single one of those guys I will have interest in. You can definitely throw in Corey Seager at the shortstop position. It's just you're paying up quite a bit for Corey Seager when it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but maybe you can get him lower owned than some of these other guys, so I don't hate it at all. Moving further along here, Jordan Lyles taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jordan Lyles is terrible. Hard contact stuff's terrible. A 551 slugging given up to righties, a 491 slugging given up to lefties. He continues to be one of the easiest arms in the league to target from a DFS aspect. The Arizona Diamondbacks are in Arizona, which is a great hitting environment. And we do have conflicting reports on whether it's going to be Spencer Howard or Jordan Lyles. I'd expect for it to be Jordan Lyles, and I have Spencer Howard listed as, let's see here, the opener. So both would be accurate here, just to kind of clarify on that before I continue. And both are kind of back-to-back here, so that's convenient. Lyles and Spencer Howard, both very convenient as far as targeting, to be honest with you. Spencer Howard has been terrible against righties. He's been a lot better against lefties this year. I remember last year he was terrible against lefties, though, so I think you can definitely target him. I think you can target this Arizona Diamondbacks overall, and as we know, Jordan Lyles is expected to come on in the latter half of the video, or the latter half of the game, so Rojas, Ketel Marte, Pavin Smith, David Peralta, Josh Vermeter. I mean, you can play all these guys. It's not the best lineup in the world, but they're going to be in a great matchup, a great hitting environment. Wade Miley taking on the Cubs. I'm really not interested in targeting him. You would target him with right-handed power. I mean, it does look like the wind's going to be blowing out this game. If that's the case, I'm definitely going to have interest in mostly the lefties, though, because the wind's blowing out to right field. But still, could be a boost for these righties, and I'm waiting on these Vegas lines to really determine if we can target Wade Miley. I don't think he's going to be all that great, but if the wind's a factor, maybe some of those fly balls turn into home runs. Jacob Rizzi taking on the Seattle Mariners. He's a guy that's going to give you up a lot of hard contact in the air as well, with a 435 slugging to righties, a 434 slugging to lefties. If you want another sneaky stack, Seattle could be team that you're looking to tonight. They only have a 3.68 implied run total, but some of the guys in the middle of the order with a lot of power can maybe have a big game, like Kyle Seager, Mitch Haniger, Ty France, Abraham Toro, Marmelos, Kalanick, those type of guys in the middle of that order. No issues with you going to them. And that's pretty much all that I would be looking to for the most part. I mean, Steven Matz taking on the New York Yankees, you got to be targeting the right-handed power with J.J. LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Luke Voit, Gleyber Torres, Gio Urshela, Kyle Higashioka. Steven Matz is known for being very terrible early on in the innings, though, so the guys at the top of the order, Judge, Stanton, could maybe get to him pretty early here. We have a pretty high implied run total in the Red Sox game with a 4.75 implied run total for both sides here. And that's another game you can be looking to as some lower ownership. Puello Espino taking on the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are a very loaded lineup, and Espino really isn't the greatest pitcher in the world. He gives up a 493 slugging to righties, a 422 slugging to lefties. Specifically against righties, he's very, very bad. Gives up a bunch of fly balls, and this is probably the last offense that I really want to reiterate having interest in, because these righties are going to be in great spots. So Jorge Soler, Austin Riley, Adam Duvall, Travis d'Arnaud, Dansby Swanson. And then I don't have an issue with the lefties either, with guys like Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Eddie Rosario. You know, the Atlanta Braves are definitely going to be a great team to target, and the Nationals bullpen isn't good. So you can add them onto the list of stacks. And that's my overall breakdown here, who I'd be going to. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my home run call of the day. Let's get into it. And my home run call of the day today, without a doubt, is going to be Salvador Perez taking on Alex Wells. We had mentioned his numbers across the board. These are absolutely terrible numbers against right-handed hitting, with only a 9.4% K rate, striking out no one, only a 27.5% ground ball rate, constant fly balls, a 460 WOBA, giving up 43.1% hard contact rate, and a 643 slugging. Then when you factor in Salvador Perez's numbers against lefties, this is a scary good spot. And Wells' repertoire is very sad, on top of the Baltimore Orioles bullpen being very sad. Going to be facing a bunch of friendly matchups in this one. And then when you're looking at Alexander Wells' stuff overall, really relying on the fastball-curveball combination. He goes to the fastball, and it's only about an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, not overpowering whatsoever for a major league fastball. And then, as mentioned, the curveball, and Salvador Perez crushes both of those pitches. On average, when you're looking at about an 88, 89-mile-an-hour fastball, Salvador Perez features a 1,000 ISO with a 644 WOBA. And then as far as the curveball off lefties, he absolutely matches as well with a 583 ISO and a 568 WOBA. 62.5% hard contact rate. This is a scary good spot for Salvador Perez. I think you're going to be regretting it if you fade him. Get him in your lineups, because he is my home run call of the day. So there you have it, guys. Salvador Perez, get him in your lineups. And that is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.